bone dry. Second chances, still we bleed. And when all love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in their line, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars dancing in their line, future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry, it was bone dry.
Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me, but something about it makes us so. Baby, every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you, you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. Feel me in the darkness. My shadows, they follow you like an accomplice. Lost all of your dreams, the night is heartless. My shadows, they follow you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Week 4 of the Women's League of Legends tournament. I am Joe, alongside Shoot or Melody.
Hello, that is me. I am Shoot, or Melody if you prefer.
And we are here. First game tonight, Pajama Guardians from the University of Derby versus Hecarim PTSD. Real clash of the titans going on for our first game tonight.
Oh yeah, no, it's really, really good. So both of these teams are tied for first at the moment. They both have the most amount of wins so far.
Yeah, both teams with 5 wins so far, and the winner of tonight will book themselves a place in the grand finals that'll be going ahead next week. And luckily, they'll get the rest of the night off.
Yeah.
Although if you're on the losing end of this one, knocked down to that lower bracket and having to fight for a place in the final next week. Real bragging rights, and also a lot on the line for these two teams.
Oh yeah, definitely. The team that wins this is definitely gonna appreciate the kind of relaxation time, whereas the team that loses, well, they better have come prepared and motivated today, because they're gonna have to play some serious high-stake games, you know? And it's such a... Oh, no, please, go on.
And it's not even the relaxation time that you have as well. It's also being able to scout your possible competition. Being able to sit out and being able to watch our lovely voices and hear us commentate these next couple of matches and find out who it is that you will be facing in those grand finals next week. Should be really interesting to see how these matches go down. I'm really looking forward to seeing some high-octane League of Legends to start us off tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like you said, Clash of the Titans. These girls, these teams are really, really good. You know, they've both also done amazing things in previous tournaments as well, because they're not newcomers to the Women's League of Legends tournament. Oh no, last season, that's where they made their debut on the first tournament. Now, Hecarim PTSD, I have actually not seen play. Derby's Pajama Guardians, I've seen them, I've casted them before, they're great, can't wait to watch them. But this Hecarim PTSD for me is a new experience, and if they're as good as they say, then this is looking to be a really good game of League of Legends, and I, for one, cannot wait to get further into it.
Yeah, and with the name of Hecarim PTSD, I'm going to make a bold assumption and say that they would like to pick Hecarim in the jungle.
Well,
but at the same time...
Claim, I think.
I know, but at the same time, I have a feeling that Derby might not let that one through the draft.
Yeah... Usually, if someone wears their heart on their sleeve like that and says that their name is Hecarim PTSD, the immediate thought in your brain might be, well, we probably shouldn't let Hecarim through first phase.
Yeah, and we are in, speaking of that first phase, into the draft. We'll have to see which side is going to be picking these ones up, and what are these first few bans going to be. I'm expecting jungle bans, and Skarner is going to be the first one for the University of Derby.
Yeah, right there. Skarner, very powerful jungler, very aggressive at the moment. He's really good at taking control of objectives and just kind of securing an early game as well as early drakes as well with that with those control points that he has. It's really good stuff. We'll see how Hecarim PTSD responds with their ban.
And it's going to be the Udyr. Now, Udyr is something that we've seen a lot from the University of Derby. We've had a look at some of their match history, and it's quite a popular pick. But Sejuani coming in for University of Derby. So really focusing down on these tank junglers there. You've got the Skarn, obviously a bit more of a bruiser than a tank, but still very, very strong defensive stats. And then the Sejuani as well, who's just pure tank.
Oh yeah, definitely. But she does have more damage now because she was, I believe, buffed in the most recent patch that went live. Her damage numbers got increased a little bit in the early game, so she does have that extra trade potential. But it seems like the Hecarim PTSD is going more for the carry, just 1v5 junglers such as Udyr and Olaf, which I expect a lot. You know, they've got a lot of damage, a lot of mobility, and they just win their jungle matchups every time. And
it's going to be Rel being banned out by Pajama Guardians as their final one. So the Hecarim is actually open for Hecarim PTSD. It could be a really interesting one for them to pick up, and clearly they want to show us a good match if they're leaving it open. But Rel, such a strong support at the minute, and really not surprised at all that it's been taken off the board.
Yeah, she's absolutely... Hang on! What a gigabrain, banning your own Hecarim!
Okay, so clearly not wanting to play into the Hecarim, obviously Pajama Guardians having that first pick and going for the Seraphine, but removing another carry jungler. So really you've only got the sort of Graves and the Lilia still open carry-wise, but we'll have to see if they're even going to start. It's going to be the Tristana first pick, so that can still be flex.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Tristana is one of those champions that can kind of do a lot of things. She's really dominant in the top lane on certain matchups, but she's also just a very solid bot lane pick. So what they can do with this Tristana pick right now is pick it in the early phase, as they're doing, and then if Pajama Gardens picks a top laner that they think Tristana can very easily flex into, they can just pick their carry later.
Yeah,
but let's see that will happen with Malphite.
Yeah. A very safe pick being picked up for Hecarim PTSD, and then you're going to see Malphite and Kai'Sa. I expect that Seraphine will be moving down into the bot lane alongside the Kai'Sa if it is actually picked up, and it is. So that's a very, very safe, but also very, very turbo scaling bot lane as well. That Kai'Sa, once she gets a few items in, starts to get those evolved forms of her Acathian Rain and a Supercharger, can be a really, really strong, and Leona is a very, very good counter into that.
Yeah. The thing about Leona is it's hard to counter a character like Kai'Sa, but Leona does a very good job just by having a lot of resistances and being able to chase her down. You know, with that Zenith Blade where she can just dash to them and then immediately stun them. It's a tough time for Kai'Sa, but I don't think it's a hard counter in the sense that Kai'Sa's going to be useless. I think at this point, I think if Kai'Sa manages to get a kill, she can snowball with it. But we'll see how the game goes so far.
I imagine so, but it's going to be the Lilia taken off by Hecarim PTSD, and it's going to be Shen picked up, or removed, by Pajama Guardians. Lilia, another one of these carry junglers, so Hecarim PTSD clearly not wanting any jungle options for Catgirl Trust to pick up, and that's the Ivan taken out. Really only leaving a couple of your typical junglers open at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, they must have done their research on Pajama Guardians and decided that, you know what? Their jungler is the problem of their team. And so if they just specifically try and ban out all the junglers' picks, then they might be able to put them in such a pressured position that they'll be able to snatch a win out from under them.
Yeah, and it's going to be the Scion banned out as well. So that's two top lane bans coming in. Clearly not wanting either of them to be played into that Malphite. The Shen removing the global pressure, and the Scion as well, semi-global with his ultimate as well, being able to come in from a significant range, that unstoppable train, and it's going to be the Volley Bear picked up, which I really, really like into this Malphite, which I'm going to assume it's going top lane and not jungle.
Yeah, I think that's a smart assumption to make, just because Volley Bear jungle at the moment doesn't seem to be... Well, it's possible. I don't think it's exactly what you need here, especially if you're picking your jungler first, because now Elizabetta is going to be able to pick in response to that. I think you definitely want to take that top. But speaking of carry junglers, yeah, as you were saying, it really only leaves Graves left, and they're going to pick that up, which is quite smart. And a Nivea on the mid lane.
Now, Anivia is something that I haven't even really seen with these new items coming in. I expect that she'll look towards the Everfrost or maybe a Leandry's.
Yes, Leandry's personally.
Both of which would be very strong, but obviously being able to have that area freeze to then follow up with a wall and then Everfrost could be a nice little combo to pop. And it's going to be Teemo. Is that going to be... I've seen a lot of Teemo jungle recently, and I hope it's...
We're getting word from production that it's actually Nocturne.
It will be Nocturne, so that's a proxy pick coming in. So Nocturne jungle and the Volibear top. Nocturne I really, really like into the Graves, being able to stop him from being able to engage by countering with your ultimate, as well as having that spell shield and the fear, because the Graves is really going to want to push into the Nocturne's jungle to steal away as much farm as possible. I feel that's a really, really nice matchup for the Nocturne.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because the thing is Graves wants to be in your space. He's a very aggressive jungler and he wants to trade with you a lot. But Nocturne just has so many stats and really benefits from you being in his space. You know, he's got the bonus AD when he's standing on the Dusk Trail. He's got the fear that just wins him trades unless you're able to get out. And again, as you said, the spell shield, he can eat those pellets. And Graves really just does a lot of burst damage. And yeah, it's not great into a spell shield. So we'll have to look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very unlikely, but what if the Tristana was going top and the Volibear was in the jungle and it was actually Nocturne mid? Now, Nocturne mid has actually been cropping up a lot recently in the LCK. If you're feeling it...
Well, I mean, I could be. I didn't realize I was co-casting with Vedius, but, you know,
but no, it's going to be the Volibear going top, unfortunately.
Yeah, do you think it could be Nocturne mid?
I don't think it will be, but it would have been lovely to see.
Oh, it would have been fantastic, yeah. No. See, I like it here, just to talk about the Anivia with those new items. I think that... Leandry's is a really good pickup on her, just because Orianna is not a very mobile champion at all. So if she gets inside that, that ultimate, that zone of slowing and damage that she puts down, and manages to get walled, that's a lot of damage. And you can also build into, is it Demonic Embrace as well, to ramp up that damage so much harder. I think it's a really good combo in Anivia, but we'll see how it goes, because obviously, depending on how the lane goes, she could decide to alter her build a little bit.
Yeah, I'd personally like to see the Everfrost, but I can see where you're coming from with the Leandry's. I feel the Everfrost gives a little bit more potential for this Graves to come in, actually, and look to push that lane a bit further forward. But obviously, when you're playing into an Orianna, you've really got to be thinking about more of poking at a distance, and Leandry's or maybe even Luden's Tempest might actually work better on those two. But I really haven't seen much Tristana in the bot lane. I was really expecting this Tristana to go mid. Obviously, that Orianna picked up just afterwards. Yeah. Tristana, a very, very strong pick in the mid lane because of how aggressive you can shove people out of the lane. And I'm looking to see something from that, something like that in the bot lane, just hammering in this Kai'Sa and this Seraphine and not giving them any space to work with. Could really be the key to success for Hector and PTSD here.
Oh, definitely, yeah. This bot lane, and this is the thing when I was talking about Leandry's Torment on the mid lane, is I think Graves is going to want to focus their efforts towards this bot lane so that they can try and prevent Tristana and Leona from getting that early lead and just dominating that lane completely, because Tristana is, you know, when you pair her with such an aggressive support like Leona that has such incredible engage at level 2, you want to just kind of get the kills early, secure the lane, manifest a CS lead, and then just steamroll as much as you can. And I think if you actually put Graves camping on the bot lane against the Tristana and the Leona, that could be your counterplay to that. So it is one of those things where it's very up in the air at the moment. We will have to see how the game is going to go in just as it is.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting matchup, and it's going to be a really good one to kick us off for our first game. But before we get started, I'd just like to say that this stream wouldn't be possible without support of our partners. Logitech G, the world's best-selling gaming gear. Alongside Unite Students, you can book student accommodation across 25 cities with free cancellation. So please go ahead, book your room for the 2021-2022 academic year today. Looking at this matchup, though, before we go in, obviously predictions, I believe, are live. I'd like to see which way the chat thinks it's going to go.
Yeah.
But also, shoot, which way do you think it's going to go?
Which way do I think it's going to go? Well, I'll tell you this much. I think it's one of those games that's going to be decided... Well, it looks like it could be decided early on. My heart, personally, resides with Pajama Guardians, and that's only because, one, I'm a little bit of a fan of them. I've casted them a few times. I've seen their plays, and I gotta say, I like what they're putting down in this game. But also, they picked a Nivea, which is... I'm a big fan of immobile controlling mages, so I like seeing that kind of stuff. But that doesn't count out Hacker and PTSD. I do think this will be a close one, but my heart lies in Derby.
See, you enjoy these control mages, you enjoy the more slow-paced, sit back and try and farm up, but for me it's got to be this hyper-aggressive team. Bar the mid lane, obviously I'm not going to come out and say that Orianna is a hyper-aggressive pick, but Volibear, Nocturne, Tristana, Leona, all of these characters want to engage, push hard, and really force advantages and not wait for them to come to them. Be really interested to see how this one goes, and I'm really hoping that we get a really nice matchup. Because obviously, looking at the side of Pajama Guardians, they do want to sit a bit further back, they do want to farm up. Hecker and PTSD want to play aggressive. Nocturne, Volibear, Tristana, they all want to be in your face 24/7, forcing you off of every single CS.
And they have such good tools to do so as well. Like, it's not even to do that.
Yeah, if this Kai'Sa steps a little bit too far forward for a CS and immediately gets hit by a Zenith Blade, then gets bashed and stunned up, and then there's Tristana's jumping on her, throwing a mine on, and that's a lot of burst potential.
Well, that's the thing is, Tristana, if she doesn't feel like she can kill her, doesn't even have to. She can just launch a few auto attacks at her, maybe auto attacks at her, maybe Q her to get the extra attack speed, or throw on a bomb, and then just walk away, take the trade. Yeah. You know, she's stunned, she's rooted, what's she going to do? Follow you? No.
But at the same time, you've got to think that this Tristana, this Orianna, and if Nocturne doesn't have the spell shield available, they're all very, very squishy. And that Seraphine ult is going to bounce between every single one of you and have you slowly walking forwards towards her.
See, that's...
And then you're walking into a Graves, you're walking into a Kai'Sa, a Nivea, a Malphite ult maybe. Like, that's not going to be a good time.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Mass Charm, is it's a lot to deal with, because not only does it stun you, it makes you walk towards you, so you actively lose your positioning even harder than you would before. And chat, from what I can see,
it's looking like chat is on my side.
Yeah, chat
is
saying
75% of them think Hecker and PTSD are going to take this one. I hope that I haven't let you all down. I hope that I haven't led you all astray with this pick. This is your channel points. Balance.
The genius is on the genius on the other side of we're used to being the underdogs, and I'm sure we'll prevail. Everything will be fine.
More important than booking a spot in the finals, more important than making sure that you're not plowing your way through this lower bracket, is obviously your channel points. That's the most important thing in this, and I hope I haven't led anyone astray by telling them to pick Hecker and PTSD. But here we are. Welcome to Summoner's Rift, ready for this game to finally kick off. And I was really hoping for some matching Kai'Sa Seraphine skins. But alas.
Yeah, not everyone is rich and can afford the skin, it seems, but that's okay. We here do not discriminate based on financial income. It's all good.
No, not at all. But it's going to be Nocturne walking blindly into a Graves. Wouldn't advise that one, but something I really want to mention before we get this started, taking a look at these keystones quickly, we're going to see Dark Harvest on Anivia. Not what I expected. I was expecting an Electrocute. So clearly wanting to play aggressive and proc these as much as possible. The other one I wasn't expecting was Lethal Tempo on the Nocturne over the Hail of Blades.
Yeah, so what that tells us is, instead of Hail of Blades, which favors quick just burst damage, Lethal Tempo is what you take when you feel like you're going to be fighting for a while. You know, like that's the rune you take when you feel like you're going to be clicking someone and you're going to be clicking them until they're dead, as opposed to clicking someone, dealing a ton of damage, and then killing them there and then. So maybe he's taken that just because he feels like the enemy team is going to be tankier than he expected.
Yeah, possibly. The obviously you're not going to be doing a lot into that Malphite, but Malphite taking Arcane Comet here as well. So clearly,
that's going to be a spellcaster type Malphite then.
Malphite might be looking to just poke down this Volibear.
Well, Q is targeted. You literally can't miss it.
Yeah, Q is targeted, and obviously you gain the other parts of your runes as well. So you've probably got Scorch in there, maybe Mana Flow Band as well. So that'd be nice for the Malphite. But I feel Volibear is always going to win those trades. If you're close enough that you can Q, Volibear is close enough that he can stun you with his Q, chase you down, burst you. He has the lightning cast as well. I'm not a fan personally. However,
it's a bit rough, but I don't think it's unwinnable. You just need to.
Oh no, not at all.
I just think you need to take your trades a lot more smart than you would in another lane. I think if you can get Volibear down to a difficult portion of his health just in time for you to hit 6, so you can just ult him and then do a full face roll combo on him, that will be what allows you to snowball in the lane. I think Malphite just needs to play it slow for now. Good stun. Look at that trade.
Yeah, really nicely threaded the needle there with that Anivia stun. And trading quite nicely into the Orianna. Obviously, she's going to have... she's got her biscuits, she's got potions, so she's not going to suffer at all from it. But
she's fine.
It's Anivia putting out quite a bit more damage than I expected, actually. I haven't seen her in a very, very long time.
Yeah. The bird's got some talons under those wings. She can do some serious damage. The interesting thing for me is that she started Doran's Ring instead of Tear. Tear's a naturally very good item on Anivia, but I guess Doran's Ring just wanted the early AP, the early trade potential a little bit more, which is respectable, honestly.
Yeah, maybe looking to look for an early back possibly and go for the Tear then, but this lane is rather extended and this Tristana rather low. Graves is going to come in to try and push that one, but obviously that extra armor that Leona can get. Not going to worry about that one, as it's going to look like Nocturne's going to take Top Crab, and we're fairly even from both sides so far.
Oh yeah, really nice wooding there from the Leona to actually catch out the Graves as he was coming, so that Tristana could back away to a point where she just couldn't really, where Graves couldn't actually even touch her, really, you know? She didn't have to jump or nothing, she was just... Ooh, that's a good route from the Seraphine. Can we see anything?
Very good route, but is the Kaiser actually going to be able to get over to her? No, she's going to be able to rocket jump out of that one, but is the Leona caught out? No, the Ignite does go over onto the Kaiser, so that one dropped down by the Leona. She's without that Ignite for the next one, but that's going to be a beautiful little snipe coming in from Kaiser. First blood over to the Kaiser, and that's really what you want there, if you are on the side of Darby.
Oh yeah, well if you're on Kaiser, you know, a good part of being Kaiser is an important part of playing Kaiser is general ADC knowledge as well as her mechanics. And one of her mechanics is just being able to quickscope people whenever you feel like you can. And it was really smart to just throw that W out there and make sure that it landed so that she could pick up another kill. Because that's going to put a huge wrench in the plans of Heka and PTSD on what they've got on that bot lane.
Yeah, this Kaiser is still very low mana, so she will need to back at some point. But I expected that she was going to, you know, open up a bit more of a CS lead there, but obviously being pushed so far into the tower, nearly losing a plate already though. So clearly Kaiser not getting the message that Tristana was the aggressive one in this matchup, and looking to take the advantages while they can.
Precisely, she projects the reality and substitutes her own, as
exactly.
they say. Really nice trade there, though. This is just what you were talking about with Malphite. There is. Malphite does win these trades. Sorry, Volibear does win these trades, and Malphite needs to be a little smarter when taking them. So, could be an interesting one here, but that is a lot of damage even at level 5. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, this Volibear being able to stun someone up, and speaking of being stunned up, that's going to be the Orianna stunned up, and it is going to be the Graves coming in for that one. Shockwave does pull everybody in, but not enough damage to find anything on the way out. And this Seraphine might have found herself caught out. This Nocturne is incredibly low, though. It is going to be the Fear coming in there, and she is going to have to walk that one out. But Graves still looking to push this one. It is going to be a flash over the wall, and that is going to be the Nocturne taken out. And it's going to be another slow over onto the Leona. Is she going to be able to escape with that Blast Plant? She will, and that's going to be the drag coming over now. TP was actually used by the Malphite, though.
Yeah, no, really smart stuff. Very good map awareness and very good communication to let them know that they needed Malphite's TP there, because not only did you manage to get a kill on the enemy jungler, you also managed to basically steal the Drake. That's absolutely awesome. And now they're moving 4 people on the bottom.
Still moving down into bot, and it's going to be those lovely little Seraphine notes cleaning that one up. That's going to be another death for the Tristana, unfortunately. Just getting caught out, and that's going to be 4 people rotating bot. Ignoring all the wave that was pushing up and taking that one clean.
Well, if you've got 4 champions in that same part of the map, you see the opportunity to possibly get something done, you take it. You know, it's very rare in this early part of the game. You know, pre-7 minutes, by the way. This is incredibly fast and incredibly aggressive from the team which looked to be the defensive side. But they are using their space incredibly well. I think it's really smart, just going back to the Malphite teleport, I think it's a really smart one there. Malphite, very obviously, Lioness, she knew that she wasn't doing all too well in the lane, so she used that teleport proactively to make sure that her presence could be used to make a difference somewhere on the map. Really, really smart plays, fantastic coordination. This game is already shaping up to be really, really cool. Just a great game to watch.
Graves looking probably for that Gale Force, I'm imagining, picking up the Noon Quiver on the first back, as well as some boots, so clearly starting to carve out quite the lead over the Nocturne, as Anivia's just going to pick up some farm under her turret, and everyone looking fairly solid at the minute. Let's get some deep vision on that bot side. Tristana going to drop a little ward, seeing when that bot lane's going to push back up. And Malphite somehow now has a level lead, despite the Volley Bear having this top lane for free for quite a while.
Dragon, plus kills, plus creeps.
Apparently so, and
I don't do math, but the Riot Games does math, and they say that he has a level up, so that works.
Yeah, Riot Games also said that Katarina needed non-hit buff for her ultimate, so I wouldn't fully agree with their reasoning at all times, but you've got a potential here with the... You've got Malphite moving down now towards the Herald. If Graves hadn't been going for the Herald, you had a dive potential there with that the unstoppable force there from Malphite possibly coming in. Like, that volley is low enough that you can look for a turret dive if this Herald is taken quick enough, and this Graves really looking to get that one done as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think it's smart to go for the Herald there and not immediately put all the eggs in one basket on the...
Here comes the Nocturne, here comes the ultimate, and that's going to be immediately getting the fear overtaken. It is going to be the Tristana picking that one up, but Kaiser's going to find a pick on the way out, and that it's going to be Tristana falling very, very low. If she does get the ultimate here, if she can pop a W here, if she can look to try and snipe the Tristana ult onto her, probably going to be able to survive that one. It's going to be the Herald drop mid, trying to open this one up for Anivia, but...
Really good financial advantage there on mid lane. I just want to bring attention to that Seraphine. Honor this woman after the game, because that was a 3-man route under tower. That was absolutely insane reactions, and she landed it perfectly. It's called skill shot for a reason. Eleodora, it was like you ultimated, but you weren't even level 6. Fantastic play.
Nice little round of applause, and it's going to be this poor Orianna getting walked on by the Graves again. Not a lot. As soon as she walks up past that entrance to the river, Graves is there, dropping a smoke screen, and immediately trying to force her out the lane. We are going to see a pause coming in, so hopefully we'll find out what that's for and sort that one out as soon as possible. But pulling it back to that bot lane play, I thought Nocturne was pulling out a double kill there, but as you said, beautiful route coming in from the Seraphine.
Completely stopped all 3 of the aggressive champions diving their tower in their tracks. It was fantastic, really quick snap reaction, and it was just, it saved Kaiser's life there, and also got her a kill. That was that was really, really good. And also
picking up the Nocturne.
Sorry, picking up the Nocturne, yeah, definitely. Just talking about Graves in terms of junglers and also what they've been doing in mid lane, they have really been applying a pressure to this Orianna. She has basically been a non-factor in the on the grand scale of things at the moment. She's only really had effectiveness in mid lane, and she hasn't really been able to push it very far. Meanwhile, Anivia has been going and helping with Drake. She helped four-man... she didn't help four-man the bot lane, but she, provided space so that everyone else could. And also, her jungler is allowing her to push in her lane. She got a Rift Herald, she's got a lot of gold advantage. I think Pajama Guardians are playing this really well. And all I've got to say is... Hecarim betters? Hecarim matters?
I said I wasn't liable for your channel point loss, but I still feel there's a way that Hecarim PTSD can pull this back. I feel like this Nocturne needs to... Nocturne should probably start to look topside, because this Volibear is taking trades with the Malphite, and is coming out very, very strong in all of them. In that 1v1, if the Volibear is winning, if I'm in that top lane, I'm screaming for my jungler to come up topside. One fear on that Malphite, and Volibear will be able to 100 to death the Malphite. There's nothing that you can do.
Very
Speaking of which, we are back in the game and we're back in the top lane.
Yes, no, seems to be some kind of connection issues, but that seems to be all sorted now. So we're back in the game, and we're ready for more League of Legends action.
Yeah, we are back, and we are going to see a couple of backs coming in, and trying to start to look towards to see these items. So the Anivia did pick up the tier, like you mentioned. That will obviously be heading into a Seraph's Embrace at some point. And I'm looking at this this Orianna, and I'm seeing Ludens.
Yes, me too. I think that's probably what you go on Orianna in this matchup.
Perhaps, obviously, being able to sit so far back, she's able to just poke out damage, and when you're poking, Ludens is a really nice little bit of extra damage there.
Precisely.
But at the same time, I feel like Leandri's is better in every situation over a Ludens. I could just be an LS shield, but...
Yeah, see, that is actually what I was kind of thinking. I think Ludens is something you need to be aggressive with in order for it to work, because as long as you're consistently getting that bonus damage on enemy champions, I think it's worth it. But Leandri's is usually the best in terms of...
It's looking like there's going to be a play hit in the bot lane as everyone is moving down for this drag. We're going to see a TP coming in from the Volibear, and I'm expecting a big fight here. It's going to look like both teams are setting up for this one. The Seraphine does have her double cast option. It is going to be the engage coming in from the Leona, and it is also going to be that massive Volibear ultimate dropping in. The Seraphine ult does come in, but is it going to be enough? It's not going to find anything so far. Tristana is going to find a double kill, trying to pick that one up as the Orianna and the Volibear are chasing down this Malphite, trying to find a kill over onto that one. But kill's going so well for the side of Hecarim PTSD. I said you weren't out the woods yet, Betters. You still have a chance. And this Volibear is seriously chasing this Malphite all the way back to top lane.
Yeah, this is that's a really, really hard chase there, but that was an absolutely beautiful fight there for Hecarim PTSD. The team fight was all in their favor. They were the aggressors. It was the Leona that went in immediately. They had the Nocturne on the back on the back of them with the Orianna ult as well. It was just really, really good. Volibear also jumping in, and 3 kills, back on 4-4. And if you look at the gold lead, they're about 800 gold up now, which is definitely what they want to be, where they want to be at. So, yeah, good fight, and they got the drink too. Infernal's
something I mentioned about the mid lane while we're taking a little break, saying that the Orianna, with her sitting so far back, she's not being able to get a lot of pressure out. But something I am seeing, she's carved out a nearly 2-level lead, obviously just ticking up to 9 for the Anivia and 10 on this Orianna. So despite the fact that she's not getting much pressure, she now has 3 assists on the board. She's out farming by nearly 30 at this point as well. And then having the level lead as well. This Orianna's really starting to come online, and Anivia might be falling a little bit behind.
Oh yeah, she's definitely winding herself up, because she is... the thing about her not having a lot of dominance across the lane and also the rest of the map is the fact that she has been able to focus entirely on farming, and that definitely shows. Look, she's, what is that, 30 CS ahead? 30 CS ahead of Anivia right now. Like, that's actually a lot of gold.
And the bot lane as well. You're looking at a 700 gold lead just on the Tristana versus the Kai'Sa, obviously supports. Your gold doesn't matter. You're useful regardless of items.
Exactly.
But these AD carries is really where you're gonna start to see them carving out a difference. You're gonna see Zerka Greaves as well as the Noon Quiver and also your pickaxe, which the Kai'Sa does have, and the crit cloak. So
she hasn't
all going the same way, but you've got Zerka Greaves' advantage, and Tristana. Attack speed is your friend, especially with the free bonus attack speed you get on your Q.
Yeah, exactly. It just helps you trade so much more easily as well, and also you have an easier time farming as well. It's really nice stuff. Though not like Tristana needs it. Look at that wave clear. She's just right-clicking. She's just
But
right.
look, this poor Seraphine doesn't know what's about to hit her. This Hecarim is this Nocturne is laying in wait. In comes the stun, in comes the ultimate, but it is also going to be the Leona ultimate dropped on top of her head. Taken out. The TP will not matter. Unfortunately, Lioness, you are just a little bit too late, as it's going to be a very clean kill down onto the Seraphine.
Yeah, well, at least Lioness is there to possibly turn around and get onto this Tristana, and she actually stuns her into the airborne revenge kill.
Nice shutdown as well. That's going to be a very large shutdown coming over that way, and clearly overstaying your welcome down in that lane, but just going to leave top open for Volibear to just start wailing on that turret.
Yeah, and I think Malphite TPing down was actually really smart there, because not only, like, even if they didn't get a kill there, I think Malphite's presence was enough to save the tower, but hang on just a minute, because Nocturne hasn't gone anywhere on the bottom lane.
No, Kai'Sa is there, and if she steps close enough, a Zenith Blade will spell her demise. But nope, she's just going to pop a recall. Doesn't look like the Leona's quite going to be able to reach that one.
Yeah, no.
Seraphine is still there.
She was looking for it. She was looking for it. There is a ping on that Seraphine, because they have the vision, but... No, they decide to just leave it be, and they probably need to help defend this mid lane. Actually, no, that's first tower down.
Nope.
Bonus
First
goal!
turret is going to be taken down here, and it's going to just slightly swing the gold lead back towards the side of Derby. That bounty, that first turret as well, it starts to pull apart by just about 400 gold at the minute. And we're going to see Volibear getting his mythic. Everyone's starting to get their mythics online now. Graves going with the shield bow over the Gale Force. Not really what I expected. And it is going to be a Leandries onto the Anivia alongside the Ludens of the Orianna.
Yeah.
Kraken, Moonstone. Your usual suspects.
Oh yeah, definitely. The only thing about the shield bow on the Graves is I think actually it's very smart against the they have a lot of burst. Actually, I was talking about Nocturne doing a fair amount of damage, and shield bow might give him a little bit more survivability that he needs to actually win those trades against the Nocturne, and also possibly against Tristana. Like, shield bow gives you more survivability, and you kind of need it against Tristana. But the Drake is coming up in 5 seconds, and it looks like Pajama Guardians are in position to take it, but we'll see what happens here.
Everyone is moving down for it. We are looking at another fight. Better warm the voice up for this one, because it does look like there is going to be an engage coming in from the Leona. Not going to fight that one as she just get frozen up by the Anivia. It's going to be a massive ultimate coming in from the side of the Volibear, trying to push this one now, as it is going to be Eladora popping a massive ultimate. That's going to find 3 with a charm, and it's going to be an engage from the Kai'Sa onto the backline. Elizabeth is going to find 2 for that one. Not going to quite be able to finish that one off. It is going to be the Tristana getting picked up there by Sleepy. The Tristana still looking to fight this one, but unfortunately it's going to be a nice little double kill coming in from the Anivia. Can't find anything, and it is going to be Derby cleaning this one up, and this now going to give chase to this Orianna. Last time it was the Malphite being chased down, but they're going to keep trying to get her, and it's not going to be found, unfortunately. But that's another drag going over to Derby, and a lot of clean kills coming in. Very well played, and really got to give that one to Eladora. That ultimate swung that fight.
Oh yeah, it was really, really nice. The two charms on the damage dealers, just allowing them to come back in and really counter-engage that initial just kind of fight that Hecker and PTSD was giving them. No, it was very, very good stuff all around. And also just getting the Drake as well. What an answer, right? They lost the team fighter Drake in the last, when it was Infernal. Mountain comes up and they say, actually, you know what? We'll take this one seriously. We actually kind of won, Mountain. Mountain's quite nice against your team. Well, we'll make
Mountains
sure
on a Malphite is really going to make a difference. You don't want to give any of those Mountain Drakes over to the Volibear and the Leona if you are on the side of Derby. They are going to greatly benefit from that increased armor and the magic resist as well. And have to see where this one goes now. Obviously, after the big team fight, everyone's just going to reset. Everyone's going to calm down a little bit. Malphite's going to finally pick up his mythic. Going to finally get Sunfire Aegis getting picked up there, so going to really help him with the wave clear, and we'll have to see how this one goes. And Nivea now 2-0-2, so it's going to be a little bit of a bounty on her head.
Yeah, definitely. The Malphite mythic coming up, I think, is also going to help his damage in team fights a lot as well, because he is going to be in the front line, he's going to be in combat, and he's going to probably try and just jump on people and do that big burst damage that it does now. One thing I do want to say is the damage from this Tristana is not something to actually. It is not something to laugh at. Definitely, because
No, not at all.
that Kraken Slayer. This is the thing about Malphite and Graves and them getting these Mountain Drakes. They're going to need them because that Kraken Slayer is going to do some serious number against their tankiness. Because Graves has True Grit, right?
Of course.
Exactly. So that actually makes him more tanky the longer he stays in combat. So these Mountain
And
Drakes.
it's going to be another. It's going to be another Nocturne ultimate. Sorry to cut you off, but it's going to be Eladora. Unfortunately, your healing isn't going to quite keep you up for that one when you get 3-man engaged on once again. And it's another kill going down into the bot lane, and Nivea is going to start moving down to try and cover this one. But I don't. Is there anyone that can really defend against the amount of damage to a structure that Tristana can do?
Yeah, when it comes to destroying towers, there are few quite as skilled and proficient as Tristana, and yeah, she's just going to take down that bottom tier one, and that's just kind of all she wrote for that lane. Now what they'll kind of have to just, they've got a lot less space to push forward and farm without, obviously setting up vision in the first place. But that also means that they have less priority over the dragon as well. So this could mean that the next dragon to spawn will be more favored for Hecarim PTSD to actually get, which will be interesting.
But at the same time, obviously, that other lane marking the entrance to the river, the mid lane, has been opened up by Derby as well. They were the first turret to be picked up this game. So really, it's going to be a case of who has the better lane state at the time. We're going to see the Tristana and the Leona moving towards the mid lane now, to be expected, to try and burst down this turret, and we should expect to see the Orianna move down into the bot lane to just farm a little bit under her turret.
Yeah, no, makes a lot of sense. Kai'Sa, obviously, she's moving forward and trying to get like some remnants of CS. She has been seen alone by some people who are pinging her, but I don't think she's very safe to go in on at the moment, just because there are probably people around, which there are.
Yeah, when you've just got this poor Orianna and just being... Looks like she's going to get collapsed on here. The Graves moving down. You're going to see the Seraphine and the Kai'Sa there, and Orianna very wisely just getting back, creating as much space as possible. But
I wonder if they can actually kill her here.
Possibly, unless the Orianna is just going to move away. The Leona is going to start moving down now, but that is going to be bot turret gone now, and cleaning that one up.
Yeah, smart playing. I think there were two universes that happened there. One is that she died and then they got the tower, and the other is that she walked away and they got the tower. Sometimes it's smart to just recognize that things aren't worth defending, and backing away there was a really good move, because it meant she kept her death count one lower than it needed to be. Nice
And if
stuff.
she picks up to 200 CS by 22 minutes, that's going to net her a lovely little bounty, 200 gold on her head for just existing.
Yeah, exactly.
0-3 so far. Not massively in these fights, but we are going to see another fight here on the drag once again. Everyone moving around for this one, but it's going to be, as we said, the lane states were just clearly in the favor of Hecarim PTSD. Derby recognizing that and not looking to take the fight there.
Yeah, I think it was just the setup more than anything else. If you look at the warding and the vision on Dragon, it is all red. It's all Hecarim PTSD, whereas there were pretty much no wards there on the side of Darby's Pajama Guardians, so they just didn't have the vision to actually contest that. I think the lane states weren't actually that bad, but the lane states are good enough here for them to push this tower. Let's see what happens here, Joe.
It's going to get massively slowed down, this volley bear trying to go in, and it's going to be an ultimate coming in. It is going to be unstoppable. But it's not going to make a difference as the charm does come in onto the Tristana and to the Leona. But are they going to be able to escape? It is going to be chasing down. Lioness is going to be able to slow that one down as the Graves of Cat Girl Trez going to clean up one. And the Kai'Sa as well, cleaning up one nicely. Elizabeth getting another one on the board as the Collector is picked up by them. And they're going to go straight for the Baron. It is going to be Derby looking to end this one here. If you get this Baron, there's potential that you can end the game.
It's potential that you can end the game. I think the more realistic, outcome here is that they push in mid and they try and get the inhibitor and then reset. But
Can Nocturne steal it?
Well, yeah, this is the thing: is Nocturne is looking for it. They don't have a smite.
Oh, you're just a little bit too late on that flash, and you are going to pay for it with your life. Kai'Sa getting another kill, and it's going to be a lovely little shutdown, but is it worth it? It is, because the luckily luckily, the Orianna's bounty went down to 150, so she's going to pick that one up. But you're giving over 150 to your lane opponent. It's going to be the Anivia picking that one up, and a bigger bounty on her head.
Yeah, that sucks as well, because you now have staggered deaths as well. You only have 3 heroes on the map at any one time now. You now have to wait even longer to have your full 5-man back, which is just unfortunate. They got a Baron, and it's quite nice. They just need to actually do something with it. Malphite seeming to push out top, but the rest of the team don't look like they want to push anything out until the Kai'Sa is respawned, maybe? We'll see what they actually go for here, but I think it's a waste if you don't try and push in one of these lanes, right?
Yeah, you would assume that they'd look towards topside, try and open up that first turret. Obviously, the Kai'Sa will need someone with her now, as she doesn't have the Baron buff anymore. That was taken out by the Orianna. But she does now. This Kai'Sa does have the evolved form of her Q, and obviously is going to just engage heavily onto that one. Questionable engages. Sleepy's just going to clean that one up. The engage does come back in. Bay Island is going to take out the Nocturne. And the Volibear trying to find something here. Gertrude the Pony trying to push this one in. Not going to find anything. That's a double kill for the Anivia. Clearly the control mages are reigning supreme so far, as they are going to look to just take this mid turret, and will do with ease.
Yeah, something really nice about this is Anivia's not actually died yet. She's
505.
Only champion of the game who hasn't died yet, and now, yeah, as we were saying, they can push this in him. They might be able to push game off this. I don't think they can, just because I take a look at 3 full health champions on Hecker and PTSD's side, one of which is Leona, the other one has a Banshee's Veil, and I think maybe you can't, because Nocturne's coming up. But they will now back away and probably set up for more objectives, possibly push in that tier 1 on top lane. It's overstayed its welcome, like it's 26 minutes, tier 1's still up, might as well just get that one squared off.
Yeah, as I was going to say before the the fight came down in the mid lane, this Kai'Sa will now have her evolved forms of her Acathian Rain and her Supercharger, so has a lot more burst potential. Clearly not as much burst potential as Elizabeth thought, engaging so aggressively onto Sleepy, as is going to be Hecker and PTSD picking up the tier 1 in the mid lane, and Darby just going to respond by picking up the tier 1 in the top lane, so no more tier 1 turrets left.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup on the tier 1 then, because as you can see, Drake will be spawning in just about 30 seconds, so if you take the tier 1 and you actually position your champions around here, you have more chance of actually getting this Drake, because at the moment that's what you want to play for. They do have a very big minion wave crashing into this tower on top lane though. So while they're fighting for this, they might actually get a fair amount of push underway.
You're going to see everyone moving down once again. They're going to see the Volibear moving through this blue side jungle, and in comes the dragon. Do they even have the burst potential to get it before Hecker and PTSD can engage? We'll have to wait and see. Going to be the Graves posturing for position right now, but it's going to be the engage now coming in from the Nocturne. The ult was incredibly aggressive, but Bay Island is going to pick that one up. But Catgirl Trez finding themselves caught out of position slightly is going to be the unstoppable jump coming in from this Volibear, trying to charge him down. It is going to be the Kai'Sa picking up one now, and it is going to be Catgirl Trez picking up another one. There's going to be a double kill for Elizabeth on that Kai'Sa. I said that you had burst potential, and I meant it. When you can burn through people like that, you will just start picking up kills, and with 4 players down on the side of Hecker and PTSD, Darby are probably going to look to push this one in, and Nivea is going to teleport top and shove in that top wave and put a lot more pressure on, but you can look to end here.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Baron may have run out, but you still have a huge advantage in terms of creep waves. It's, I think pushing for this top inhib is the smarter play, just because if they still had Baron, I'd say end it, definitely. But I think, death timers aren't that long yet. You've got Volibear and everyone else pushing up. You can probably get this tower. You might be able to get this inhib, but this could be a secondary addition to the fight. Yeah, they're just going to get the tower and they're going to back away a little bit, which is smart there.
The inhibitor was bold, but not quite the right play, as we are going to see 4 minutes left for a Mountain Soul, and I don't want to see a Malphite with a Mountain Soul. The Tristana's not going to do anything.
No. The only people who do are the not Hecarim,
Darby's
Darby's Pajama Guardians. Goodness
If we
me.
can both put our teeth back in, we'll be able to get that one down.
Right? Might actually be able to do our jobs. No, but Baron is up in 30 seconds, which will be interesting. The one thing I do want to say about that team fight around Dragon there, Nocturne, trigger finger. She
Yeah, a little bit.
kind of pressed the button and went in and kind of ended up diving into 5 people and then got absolutely destroyed because the ice shard on the Anivia there did 513 damage to that Nocturne. That's like a third of her health bar. That's a lot of damage.
That's,
And that's not including the other 3 heroes that were there.
as we are going to see them start to posture for this Baron now. We're going to see Darby starting to set this one up. They're going to try and trap in the bush, but if you're going to pop a vision plant, obviously, going to give that one away. But Hecarim PTSD, you're going to have to sit back. You're going to have to defend for a minute because there's clearly nothing that you can do just yet. You've got to shove out your waves before you can look for anything and clear out all this vision. But they are going to get it started. It is going to be Darby going for this one. They do have the trap available now, as they are going to go straight in on that Nocturne. And your jungler's down. You're going to struggle to take this one. It is going to be an engage from Gertrude, the pony, into the backline, trying to jump onto that one. Sleepy is going to pick up Lioness immediately, so it is going to be tanks getting removed very, very early on. Elidor is going to get chased down by Gertrude, but it's going to be Kakotrez picking up the Orianna. That's going to be a really nice pick on the other side. Gertrude is going to have to start to run this one out now. Kakotrez is going to look to try and end this one. Obviously, the Anivia still has the egg form available because obviously not getting picked off just yet. Kakotrez is going to pick up the volley bear, and they are going to look to flip this one now with everyone still up. This Anivia is now 6-0-8, Graves 6-1-8, and really starting to spell the end here for Hecarim PTSD.
I just want to say, look at Darby's Pajama Guardians' strategy when it came to that team fight. They weren't trying to fight that as 5v5. They were trying to fight it as 2v1, 1v2, 2v3, 3v2. That was a very split fight around that little junction in the red side jungle there. That was really, really smart because they fought that fight 5-on-5. They know that they don't particularly have the best chance of winning in it, so they picked them apart, pulled them apart like they were a cheese string, and just devoured them. And I gotta say, Hecarim is probably not as good for your bones as some regular old calcium that you'd get from a cheese string. But
as much as you can call a cheese string actual chease, I'll go with that one.
Yeah, very, very obviously not sponsored. I just stuck to the metaphor there.
But as well, you have to think that they saw the volley bear, they saw the Orianna walking down the bot side towards that that Baron. But they waited, and when they saw the Nocturne, that was when the engage came in. Malphite ult straight on top of them and immediately removed from the fight. And are we going to see Hecarim PTSD look to try and fight this one now? They do have the turret advantage. It's going to be the volley bear starting to chase this one in. Chem tank is going to be popped as well. Give me a nice little dash away as the volley bear ult does come in. The Graves is going to go for that one, but it is going to be the Nocturne coming in. And it's going to be a huge charm coming in with a Malphite ult in the backline. Lioness cleaning that one up, and it's going to be a huge shockwave from Orianna, but it's not going to be enough. There's not enough damage coming in from the side of Hecarim PTSD. Darby are just going to keep walking this one in. Tristana is going to have to jump away, but it's not going to be enough, as it is going to be the Leona bursted down now. Catgirl Trez on this Graves, showing why they are so proficient in the jungle. You banned out 5 junglers, Hecarim PTSD, but you forgot the Graves.
That was absolutely amazing. Seraphine with an absolutely incredible ultimate there, but Orianna might have just saved them the game with her ult in return, right? Because like, if they'd have won that team fight, they would have just marched down mid and ended, you know. But that 4-man shockwave put the fear of God in Pajama Guardians' hearts, so much so that they were like, okay, you know what? We'll get 2 kills and then just back away, get the tower and the inhib, and then see where we go from there. But that was really good stuff from both sides. 2 4-man ultimates from both sides. That's incredible.
I imagine here that Darby are just going to go and clean up all of the inhibitors, open all of them up to get those double super waves spawning in now. But really, it's really starting to spell the end. You see the Graves with this bloodthirst as that absolutely massive shield. It's taking turret shots and it's not even making a dent in the shield. As this first inhib turret, or this first Nexus turret is going to be taken down. Is there an answer for the side of Hecarim PTSD? I can't see it, because this final turret is getting chunked down now. It's going to be the volley bear getting chunked as well, and it is going to be a lovely collateral damage over the Nexus, taking out the volley bear, and this is going to spell the end. The Nexus is falling, and I'm going to call it now. Congratulations, Derby, for booking your place in the finals.
Yeah.
Commiserations, unfortunately, to Hecarim PTSD, but we will see you in that lower bracket semi-finals. But I have to admit, I doubted.
Doubters. You just can't look. This is the thing, right? The 25% of Twitch chat that voted for Pajama Guardians right there, they knew what they were talking about. They saw what I saw in their comp, and we were able to see it through to reality. And I've got to say, it's not about one person being better than another in terms of predictions, because it's never about that. We're all just here to have fun. But if it was, the results speak for themselves. Anyway, that was a really, really fun game. You doing all right over there, Joe?
I'm not here anymore.
No, okay, fair enough.
I'll admit, I was wrong. I backed the wrong team, but had I known that Derby Pajama Guardians weren't going to play it that clinically throughout, what can I say? They played it phenomenally throughout, split up the map perfectly, put pressure where they needed to, played around their carries, and really, it kind of showed with that final Baron fight the difference that they were going to make, focusing out the knockdown, making sure the smite wasn't available, making the job even easier for the Graves, and booking their place in the final, rightfully so.
Yeah, really good stuff to them, definitely. I do want to say Hecarim PTSD did a fantastic job there. There were a few fights and really good... They had really good objective control, take it to such a close level. Unfortunately, Derby's Pajama Guardians were just...
on another level.
I don't want to say more coordinated, because
they were just on another level.
Yeah, it was
Whatever
just...
Hecarim PTSD came out with, they had a response for.
Oh, could you say, Joe, that... You backed the wrong horse.
And with that note, we're going to throw it to a break as we wait for the next game. We hope to see you back, as we are going to see... I'm confused. It's not my feeling, it's the name of the team. I'm confused.
Oh, I was confused too.
Playing their match. We will find out who they will be playing very shortly, but we will see you all very, very soon.
Your lips are stained with fiction. You always have your reasons, and I spell you rotten. Your hands are sealed in pockets. You fill them with your secrets. To you, I am nothing. I am. Your kiss, sweet like poison. You know you make me reckless. I'll run, but you are friction. Your touch feels like heaven. You make me hate all my sins. You are my religion. My religion. have a billion